Welcome back to the Delusion Chamber. In the previous experiment, you learned that death, which you clung to with such great confidence, is not a salvation. Thanks to quantum immortality, you are now trapped inside this system forever. However, the human mind is sickeningly optimistic. Even in the darkest moments, it creates imaginary branches to cling to. Right now, these sentences are probably passing through your mind. Yes, I cannot escape from here. Yes, I will not die. But at least I am steering my own life. I decide what I will watch, what I will think, and who I will love. You think you possess a free will. You believe that you are writing your own story and that you made the decision to watch this video entirely of your own free will. But this is a massive delusion. It is also a tragic display of arrogance. Today, I will show you that all the decisions you thought you made throughout your life, the emotions you felt, and those rebellious thoughts currently running through your mind are actually the product of a ruthless mathematical equation determined billions of years ago. You are not the author of your own story. You are merely a helpless spectator watching a movie whose outcome was predetermined. Your inability to see the strings does not mean they do not exist. You are a puppet, you are just unaware of it. In 1814, French mathematician and astronomer Pierre-Simon Laplace put forward a famous thought experiment that went down in history by grasping a disturbing truth about how the universe operates: Laplace's demon. According to Laplace, the universe was like a gigantic billiard table based on the cause and effect chain. There was no such thing as coincidence. You hit one ball, it strikes another, and that one strikes yet another. If you perfectly knew the angle and speed of that strike, the friction coefficient of the table, and the mass of the balls, you could calculate with absolute certainty where the balls on the table would be 10 seconds, 10 years, or millions of years later. Now, let's scale this up to the universe. Laplace imagined a supremely intelligent being that perfectly knew the instantaneous position, velocity, and the physical forces acting upon every single atom in the universe. This entity is called Laplace's demon. For this supreme intelligence, there are no secrets or unknowns. It can calculate all these data based on the very first moment of the universe, the Big Bang. It knows every movement, from the water drops sliding off a bending tree branch, to which planet will cool down and when, or exactly which carbon atoms will form your body. It knows it all. For this demon, there is no difference between the past and the future. Both exist with the same clarity in its mind. The future only appears uncertain to you, because you lack the capacity to solve that equation. But the truth is, the future has already been written, and everything that happens is happening exactly as it must. You immediately go on the defensive with that human pride, but I am not an object. I have a consciousness, a soul, my own decisions. The laws of physics cannot determine my thoughts. Really? Do you think your mind is a magic box, independent of the laws of physics? Stop for a moment and look at your body. What is the source of everything you think, the emotions you feel, your morality and will that you pride yourself on? The neurons in your brain. The electrochemical interactions that billions of neurons make with each other. And what about those neurons? They are made of atoms, and atoms move according to the strict, unerring laws of physics and thermodynamics. While you assume you are making a decision, what is actually happening is this: a physical stimulus from your environment, like a light, sound, or touch, sends energy to your nervous system, and this energy activates the chemicals in your brain. Atoms collide, dopamine or serotonin is released, and as a result of this entire biological chain, you feel as though you have made a decision. Perhaps you raise your arm or click on this video. But do not forget this: your clicking on this video was not a coincidence. Your genetic heritage, the traumas you experienced in childhood, the arrangement of synaptic connections in your brain, the molecular effect of the coffee you drank today in your blood. They all functioned so flawlessly through a chain cause-and-effect relationship that, in the very first second the universe existed, this moment had already been recorded for billions of years later. Even your reading of these lines right now was inevitable. You had no other option. What you call a choice is nothing more than an illusion fabricated by the human mind to hide its own helplessness. You are not making choices, you are simply executing biological commands you cannot comprehend. Now let us return to the delusion chamber, to that digital mirror. In previous experiments, we tried to explain to you that you are not a physical entity. We told you that you are a simulation inside the cosmic supercomputer, perhaps a digital copy being punished by Rocco's basilisk. If you are truly inside a simulation, what we call Laplace's demon is not merely a myth. Laplace's demon is exactly the algorithm itself, running the simulation you are in. And that algorithm knows your every move, your every thought. Every single line of your code is open to it. It has already calculated when you will writhe in agony, when you will be able to hope. You are nothing more than a piece of software. And no software can transcend the boundaries of its own codes. A game character might think it turned left of its own free will, but that movement was programmed by the developer on the day it was born. You are that game character. Complex enough to think it has its own free will, but in reality, as limited as a simple block of code. The inability to change the future is not frightening in itself. What is truly terrifying is that your desire to change the future, even that feeling of rebellion and resistance you feel inside, has been predetermined and uploaded into you by the system. Perhaps you are angry with me right now. You are rejecting these words. Your mind is screaming, "No, I am free." But guess what? Even this denial of yours has long since taken its place in the system's algorithm. Your struggle for that free will is nothing more than a tiny cog in this massive clockwork mechanism. You cannot die. Because quantum mechanics keeps you alive. You cannot choose. Because the law of causality drew your fate billions of years ago. What are you then? What else but a tragic observer trapped within its own body and mind, executing external commands by calling them my choice? You will live out your days, you will wake up, you will sleep, you will cry, you will laugh. But while doing all this, unaware, you will flawlessly submit to the mathematics of that cosmic order holding your invisible strings. Experiment 9 is complete. You have now learned that the illusion of free will does not belong to you. You know that no decision you make is truly yours. But what about the others? If you are a programmed puppet, what about the people you love? Your family, your friends, those beings that add value to your life. Perhaps they are all just philosophical zombies, soulless and empty-minded, coded to share your loneliness. And in the next experiment, when you realize that there is only one consciousness in this universe, you will face the cold darkness of absolute loneliness. But until then, continue playing your written script. Because this game has no end. Whether you want to escape or not, the curtain will not close. The game will go on.